Well, my name is David Bullard, 59, originally from the mountains of Southern California, a little town called Running Springs, about 200 people. And I came to Maine in the mid-'80s. I had alcohol addiction, and through my time here in Maine, I found recovery in the late 90s. And from the late 90s till now, I have been successfully in recovery and continuing to grow and feel better and work with others all the time. I was highly independent growing up and self-employed and doing things. I wasn't faced constantly with things that were blocking me from my path, whatever I wanted to do. And that could mean staying up late or possibly drinking too much. I was my own ship captain and crew half the time. And so then as the years went on, I got married, had kids, and all those reflections came right back at me, harder and harder and harder all the time. And life's responsibilities. I realized there's no way possible to do this and continue on this path. And so I struggled with quitting and with trying to quit for about 10 years, from about 88 to 1998. It wasn't for about 10 years until I actually got a grip on sobriety and working the 12 steps, working with others and trying to clean the wreckage, take a look at my past and look at the patterns that existed. I would have obligations, and they could either be recreational or work obligations or family obligations. And not only would I not make them, but I would also make excuses for not making them. So that they were like the dynamic effect was multiplied. Or in the case of having a family, would be possibly going camping on a weekend, and I would not be able to do that. And then not only would I not do it, but I would say, oh, something else came up, or I have this agenda, I can't do it. When the truth was, I was shattered inside from the use of the medicating. My medication was alcohol. It was in late 90s, 98, in the fall. I had finally reached a point where I really needed to see this stuff clear. I really saw myself clearer, and I wasn't in any big trouble, but I was kind of haunted. And I started to attend a 12-step meeting in the mid-coast area, and it was in the morning. So the morning one seemed to make a difference to me, and I was able to see that I kind of just need to rein it in, so to speak, and just kind of see myself as I go through the day. Don't get charging, don't get going too fast, don't make quick decisions, maybe call someone first before making a decision. And and so that was going on 23 years ago, and I've continued to do that, and life has just gotten simpler, and it has gotten better. All those years that I was in going and attending meetings and often leaving early, I never once took the suggestions totally to heart. And when I did, I'll never forget the day I was in a coffee house, and a guy who I knew from the meeting, who was a very successful person in the area, had said to me, if you ever have any trouble at all, just give me a call. That's what we do here. And I actually did that, and it worked. And so, and I go, man, I wasn't following these basic suggestions all these years, and here I do that. And like 10 minutes after, I felt like I had a 500-pound weight lifted off of myself. And what it was is I actually listened to him that morning, And then a couple days later, I started feeling this anxiety and these pressures of life and everything that was seemed to be too hard to handle. And I called this guy and I talked to him. And the guy he's still a friend of mine. He gave me that time to talk that time. And he actually opened up the door for me to feel okay about calling somebody, to work through an issue.
What does it look like to live a recovered life today?
That means that you're going to live more peacefully in yourself and more peacefully in your own skin. And so I don't overcommit as much. I might push the edge a bit, but not in an extreme way. And doing things like making basic obligations, say I have a job or I'm going to do something, I show up on time. I leave in plenty of time and drive the speed limit, and go calm down the road. There's not so much intensity in everything. So that, to me, that is just worth everything.
What message would you like to give that viewer?
My best message is know that there is help and people that will help. The craziest thing about addiction is unless a person's ready, and you could have the best coaches or sponsors, as we say, or people there to help you. If you're not willing to take it or you can't absorb it, it's really difficult. Another part of that. But what I try to let people know is that there is hope and that there is people when you're ready that are there. And it's hard to take someone who's not ready and make them ready. And it isn't easy. It took me about 3 years before I felt better. So to think that you're going to feel better quick, it's not going to happen overnight, but it's much better than staying there in that space forever. Through the years, I've been working on a book. It only took me 45 years to do. And it's a book of all songs that I wrote. And it's being published.
Man.
It actually has photos of all kinds of stuff in it, of people that I've known and people that I've played music with. But that is part of an accomplishment through sobriety that I would have never done